Sitting here with my papa. I'm Justin McKie, Bernard McKie's grandson. Zeta Zeta till fall 16.
Bernard McKie, Pi Gamma, 2 Pi Gamma 75.
Just want to sit here and have a conversation with you, Pop. Let's get into it. When was the first time you noticed Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated?
Well, I noticed it early. I guess I was in high school. My cousin Leo pledged to St. Aug, so that was my first familiarity with Omega. And then, of course, my brother pledged in '71. His line, half of his line, which was the mighty quarter from Talladega College, half his line came to our house. And I saw him stepping. You know, my mom was feeding them. They were sleeping all over the place, and they came in like 1 in the morning. My mom got out of bed, and by 3, and this was no microwave days. By 3, everybody was eating. So that was a good weekend, just being around that atmosphere and hanging with those guys. And of course, later on I visited down there and really got to meet them. So it was a good time.
So you kind of said who sparked your interest in joining the organization, but what would you say? Let's talk a little bit more about you being on campus. What sparked your interest about joining the organization?
Well, without a doubt, the brothers ruled the yard at the time when I got there. They was just coming off of probation though, but I had gone to Norfolk the summer of '72 before I actually went to school. And I went there and enrolled in a couple classes, and I had a job at the Navy base. So I got familiar with them, and at that time they had a frat house. It was torn down before I actually started. It was torn down this summer, but at that time they had a frat house. So I got a chance to see the campus and the atmosphere, and it was evident that the brothers, even though they were few at the time because of probation and some other things and graduation, they still ran the yard.
Who were the most influential brothers when you were first initiated into the organization?
Well, when I was first initiated, I would have to say my brother, of course. As I say, he went over 71, I went over 75. My cousins, I had a couple cousins that had crossed as well at other chapters. But we had some brothers there. As I say, they were coming off probation, had a couple guys there, a couple in night school, couple that would still matriculating and whatnot, just a little more advanced than we were. But I guess one of the most influential brothers, Carl Hayward. Carl wrote the alma mater at Norfolk State, and he had just come from USC, getting his doctorate in music, and he was the faculty advisor. And I think Carl went over in like '68, so Carl went in more than about 6-7 years older than us. So he had a good impact because he could talk to us, regular talk, do what he needed to do if he had to do something different, and of course throw a good party as well. So it was a lot of fun, and like he was like I say, striving for academia as well. Had just gotten his doctorate, wrote the alma mater in Norfolk State, and moving forward. So I would have to say Carl Hayward.
What initial impact did the organization make in your life?
Well, I always tell people you never stop living Omega. The things that you learn. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, uplift, those things follow you throughout your life. I can't count the times when hardships or whatever hit, tough decisions, whatever, you think about perseverance. You think about see it through. You think about the poems, Invictus, Members versus Men. I mean, they just come to you automatically when you're going through your life. It's just something you never forget, and you always reflect back to it, especially during tough times.
Did Omega Psi Phi did it have anything to do with the political climate at that time?
Well, you're talking. I went to college in '72. Vietnam War was over in '75. So you're talking about right in the midst of the Vietnam War, right on the tail end. You're talking about 1 million plus people dying in this war. Veterans coming back home, veterans enrolling in school. We took over lines, took over after I crossed. We had a couple. The next line after I crossed had 3 military guys. 2 of them had been to Vietnam. So you had this thing going on at that time, and that was all over politically. They set the tone for everything that the government was doing at that time, because that's what was going on. But you dealt with Vietnam, you dealt with Agent Orange, you dealt with guys coming back with limbs off. It was just a serious time at that time, trying to get peace in the United States and moving forward after the war.
So obviously the world has changed. Obviously we're living in different times. Tell me a little bit for you the impact that you've seen Omega make, and how that has helped shape the world that we live in now.
Well, Brothers has always been in the forefront. Jesse Jackson in politics. You got Jim Clyburn. Brothers has always been in the forefront. And even I didn't find out till later on some of the teachers that you interacted with Brothers. Some of the politicians in your city were Brothers. You didn't really know it because you were too young and dumb to even think about things like that. But you found out that some of those people that were leaders and very influential at that time, Ben Hooks over the NAACP and people like that, they were brothers. And you find even now a lot of the people that are leading, they're brothers. When you look in the background and you just look at their credentials and things like that. So automatically you had that around the university, you had that around the city. And it was, as a young kid, it caught your attention.
What positions, offices have you held within the organization?
Well, I was a neophyte bossless with a zero budget, and that's where I got my early start, and learned how to fundraise. Just proud to say, when I passed it on, we didn't owe anybody, and had about $5,000 in the kitty, which was a good little bit back in 1975. So we did a lot of parties, showed a lot of shirts, all kind of parties, waist party, weight parties, all kind of stuff, to raise money, because like I say, neophyte bosses with no money. So it taught me how to persevere and how to plan, how to organize, how to raise money. So as far as there, I haven't held any offices in Omicron Phi, sat on some committees, Mardi Gras committee, election committee, different things like that. I always felt that because my job was so demanding, because I was based on 24/7 every day on the job, I didn't want to overload myself. So I've always taken the role as helping to raise money, because I know money is what makes the engine go. So I've always raised money with the chapter, bus trips, different things like that, and raise money, always give them money back, or help with planning parties and selling tickets and things like that. My goal has always been to give at least try to give at least $5,000 back to the fraternity every year, in terms of selling tickets, taking ads or whatever the case is. So normally $50 a pop, I'll usually try to sell 100 tickets, 50 or more, or whatever the case may be. And then by the time you donate for whatever other things, I've just always felt like that was part of what I did, and if every brother did that or close to that, and which I only call doing your part, then we'll be all right as a chapter.
Obviously, just a little intimate, we got a lot of family members in our family that's Omega, like you said earlier, but you've had a lot come after you, and just talking to them, I know you've had a big impact in that. How does it make you feel to see the family members after you come and join Omega, same way you did so many years ago?
Well, I think it's a great honor, especially when somebody says that, and not just family members, somebody said, I pledged because you pledged that fraternity. I knew that if you were a member of it, it had to be right, because you always about doing things the right way. So it just makes you feel good that you touched somebody in that form of fashion, that they thought enough of you to go blind, in most cases, go in blind, not even knowing what to expect in some cases. Some of them had brothers in the family, but some of them went in not knowing what to expect at all. So it makes you feel good and warm and fuzzy that you reach someone, or you got somebody's attention, or somebody's emulating you, or wants to emulate you in the things that you've done as you've grown up and matured.
What would you say has been your proudest moment since being a member of Omega Psi Phi? I know for me, I remember you didn't even know I was coming. I remember you accepting Omega Man of the Year, and just watching how emotional you got. I think I might have been no more than 7 or 8. Just watching how emotional you were, and I can remember you saying the only thing you wish was that me and my dad had been there, and of course you didn't know I was there at the time. And I walked out. Mama had me walk out, and just watching you be filled with emotion and seeing how much you truly cared about this organization, even at that young age. What would you say is your proudest moment?
Man, there's just been so many moments, but I guess one of the main things I'm proud about that we're still here. We're still here, and it's a lot of years from 1911 to now. We're still standing strong. We're strong in numbers. That people still have the interest in Omega, to want to pledge, to want to do the crazy things that you do to pledge. Which boils down to almost making yourself an idiot and imbecile at times in your life. So wanting to do that, a kid in 2020, and in your case a kid in 2017, wants to do what I did in 75. Because it hadn't changed that. Pleasant hadn't changed that much over those years. We've gone some different things, but it really hadn't pledged. The guts of it, the hearts of it hadn't really changed. And that a kid, and the world has changed so much with the differences that they have now, that somebody still wants to go through that process for a purpose. And I think that says a lot about us as men, as an organization, that we're still strong. We're still standing strong, and we're stronger than we've ever been.
1911 to 2020, 109 years. Tell me a little bit how you've seen Omega change over the years. We've changed with the times. We've been progressive enough to, when things change, the mood, the attitude, the world, we've been able to adapt and make that change as well. We've gone from pencil and paper to computer age to virtual. We've been able to adapt, and I think to be able to survive and be relevant, you've got to be able to adapt. Change is the most consistent thing that we do. As ironic as it sounds, you change something every day. Something with your life, something around your life, somebody you know. There's a change of some sort in your life each and every day. And that's the irony of it. Most people don't like change, but you have to deal with it every day, because it changes every day. But we've been able to adapt that. We've been able to get good leaders that can move us forward. Brothers with a will that want to lead. We've been very fortunate in that aspect to have very good leadership to sustain these 109 years. In your opinion, what does the future look like for Omega Psi Phi?
I think the future is great. And I say that I look at my role a lot of times with our chapter as being the middle guy. I know the older guys. I'm the age of some of them. Some of them a little older than me. But I like to party, I like to have fun, and so I know the younger guys. So, and I'm real thrilled with them. Our chapter has gone through some transformations, but I think the young guys have taken the reign, and it even moves us to a different level. We're having different type of events than what we've had. One time party, boom, that was it. But we're having different little events, little spring dances, different things like that. Other different type fundraisers, adopting schools, adopting kids. Summer camp is larger. We sending more kids to summer camp than we've ever sent. So I think the interest is still there. I'm very pleased with the young leadership. We have to do some things, but I talked earlier about change. You've got to be able to change. You've got to be able to adapt. I don't agree with everything they do. They party a little different than we party. But I like the fact that they have a purpose, that they continue to raise money, which we empty back into the community. So it's all good. So I think the future is going to be great. I make a point when I go to conclaves and things like that to meet young guys, to talk to young guys, and I've been very pleased and impressed. With what we've come up and what the product we produce, and I feel like Omega is in great hands. It's going to be different, and I think the brothers my age and older have to understand that. It's going to be different because times are different. They're not going to do it like we did it. But I think the fact that you continue to do funds and make money available, we are doing more scholarships than we've ever done from our chapter. We're doing some very, very good things. I just encourage all the brothers, young and old, to get in and participate, because I think everybody can. I think some just choose not to, but I think everybody can. I think everybody has something that they can bring to the table, some skill or some talent that they can bring to the table that we can utilize.
Coming to a close here, Papa, what is your message that you would leave to the brotherhood?
Stay strong. We've got a great organization. We've survived 109 years. Soon to be 110. That's good stuff. But you got to get in, you got to work. Nothing happens without work. Brothers have to understand that, young and old. If you're still a part of the organization, it's still part of your responsibility to make sure it thrives. And I say that until you stop breathing. As long as you are able, you should be working, because we do great things. We don't just store money. We make it and we give it back to the community every year. We get down to almost a zero base budget every year and kind of start all over again. But I tell the brothers, you got to persevere. You got to be a man. A man always works, takes care of his family, makes his commitments, and the commitments he makes, he stays strong to those commitments. That's what being a man is. Scholarship continue. You're never too early to learn. You learn something new every day. And uplift, play it forward. That's what I look at uplift. You pay it forward. If I got a piece of something, you got a piece of something. I can't tell you the time, undergrad and whenever. I met brothers, undergrad, we could get on the road, go anywhere. Brothers fill you up with gas, you keep going. Countless time people come to this house, you don't even know. When my line brother Larry Thompson passed last May, we had about 7, 8 brothers come in. I slept them all at my house. I said, you can't go anywhere else. My house is your house. We're going to sit down. We're going to do a toast to my line brother this passing. And we're going to talk about the old times. And we're going to also talk about what we can do to help the fraternity move forward in the future. But I think we're in great hands. I am very impressed with the young leadership. I'm very impressed with them. And I'm not easily to impress. As people that know me know that. But I've been very impressed with them, and I've got in with them and worked. Like I told them, I'm a worker. You tell me what I need to do to help us move forward, and I'll do that. So I encourage other brothers to get in, reach down, pull up another brother, continue to love our sweethearts and our wives and to treat them with utmost respect, and to always move forward in a positive manner and carry yourself accordingly.